My 32F husband, 34M, divorced me after I refused to give up my career for his dream business. Now he's begging me back after. It all collapsed. I'm still reeling, even months later. I, 32F, was married to Mark, 34M, for 7 years, together for 10. We built a life that, from the outside, looked perfect. We had a beautiful home, 2 adorable dogs, and stable, well-paying careers. I was a senior marketing manager at a major tech company, a job I'd worked incredibly hard to get and genuinely loved. Mark was an engineer, equally successful in his field. We'd always planned for a future together, discussing kids, retirement, and all the mundane, wonderful details of a shared life. Or so I thought. The first crack appeared about 2 years ago. Mark started talking about leaving his engineering job to start his own business. It wasn't just a casual, wouldn't it be nice? He was serious. He'd always had an entrepreneurial spirit, tinkering with ideas, but nothing ever came of it. This time, it was different. He wanted to launch a smart home automation company, something he'd been passionate about for years. I was supportive, naturally. I encouraged him to research, write a business plan, and explore his options. I even offered my marketing expertise, helping him craft pitches and branding strategies in my spare time. We spent countless evenings brainstorming, and I genuinely believed in him. I thought we were a team, building something together. The problem started when his vision for the business expanded, and with it, his expectations of my role. Initially, he saw me as a consultant, a sounding board. Then, it morphed into him wanting me to be his full-time marketing director. I politely declined, explaining that I loved my current job, the stability it offered, and the career path I was on. He seemed to understand, though a flicker of disappointment was visible. Then came the real bombshell. About 1.5 years ago, after months of planning, he got a small business loan and was ready to launch. He sat me down, looking serious. He told me that for his business to truly succeed, he needed my full support, and that meant more than just evenings and weekends. He said he needed me to quit my job. I was stunned. Quit my job. Mark, you know how much I love what I do. And the income, we rely on both our salaries. He countered, exactly. We rely on them. But think about the potential. If this takes off, we'll be set. Your marketing skills are exactly what I need to make this a multi-million-dollar company. We could be financially free in 5 years. I tried to explain my perspective calmly. Mark, this is a huge risk. We have a mortgage, car payments, student loans, and we want to start a family soon. Giving up my stable, high-paying job for a startup that has no guarantee of success, it's terrifying. I reminded him that I was earning significantly more than he was at that point, and my salary was what allowed us to maintain our comfortable lifestyle and save for the future. His initial business projections, while optimistic, showed he wouldn't be profitable for at least 18 to 24 months. He became increasingly frustrated. You don't believe in me, do you? You don't think I can make this work? That's not fair, Mark. I do believe in you. I just believe in being realistic and financially responsible. What if it fails? What happens to us then? He started to bring it up almost daily. Every conversation seemed to loop back to my career, his business, and his need for me to sacrifice mine for his. He painted vivid pictures of our future, us vacationing in exotic locations, him driving a luxury car, me designing our dream home. All of it contingent on me becoming his unpaid, full-time marketing guru. The arguments escalated. He started using emotional manipulation, saying things like, "If you loved me, you'd support my dreams," or "This is our future, but you're too selfish to see it." He'd compare me to friends whose wives had supported their husbands by staying home or working part-time. I felt like I was being backed into a corner, my career, my identity, being chipped away by his relentless pressure. One evening, after another particularly nasty fight, he dropped the ultimate ultimatum. "Look, Sarah," he said, his voice cold, "I can't do this with someone who isn't fully committed. If you're not willing to make this sacrifice for our future, then maybe we don't have a future." I was devastated. I looked at him, the man I loved, the man I thought knew me better than anyone, and I barely recognized him. He was no longer the supportive, understanding partner I married. He was a stranger, consumed by his entrepreneurial ambition that I stood my ground. "Mark, I am committed to our future, but not at the expense of my own financial independence and career. I can support you in so many other ways, but quitting my job is not something I'm willing to do." His response was immediate and chilling. "Then I think we need to separate. I can't be with someone who holds me back." I won't lie, I begged him to reconsider. I cried, pleaded, tried to explain that this was a terrible mistake. But he was resolute. He said I was standing in the way of his destiny, and he couldn't have that kind of negativity in his life. He accused me of being risk-averse and stagnant. He said he needed someone who would jump into the unknown with him, someone who truly believed in his potential, even if it meant temporary hardship. Within a month, he filed for divorce. It was a brutal process. He was surprisingly cold and calculating, focused solely on the division of assets. He even tried to argue that because his business was our future, I should contribute a larger share of our savings to its initial funding, an argument that thankfully didn't hold up in court. Our beautiful home was sold, our assets divided, and our shared life was systematically dismantled. I moved into a small apartment, heartbroken and utterly alone. My friends and family were shocked, many of them having witnessed the idyllic image we projected. They tried to comfort me, but it was hard to explain the depth of his transformation that I focused on my career, pouring all my energy into work. My company recognized my dedication, and I was promoted twice in the year following the divorce, increasing my salary even further. I also started therapy, processing the grief and betrayal. It was a long, painful road, but slowly, I began to heal. I rediscovered hobbies, reconnected with old friends, and even started dating casually, though my trust in men was severely shaken. Meanwhile, I heard snippets about Mark's business through mutual acquaintances. Initially, things seemed to be going well. He'd launched his product, had a few initial sales, and was very active on social media, projecting an image of soaring success. I tried to ignore it, to focus on my own life, but a part of me, the part that had believed in him, still hoped he would succeed, if only to justify the pain he had inflicted. Then, about 3 months ago, the whisper started. His product had some significant technical flaws that led to customer complaints and returns. His marketing efforts, without my input, were amateurish and inconsistent. He struggled with cash flow, burning through his initial loan much faster than anticipated. His highly optimistic projections never materialized. He hired a small team, but without proper management or a clear business strategy, they quickly became disillusioned. The real downfall came swiftly. About a month ago, I got a call from our mutual friend, Jessica. She was hesitant, but she knew I needed to hear it. Mark's business had officially failed. Spectacularly. He'd run out of capital, couldn't secure additional funding, and had to lay off his entire team. He was left with mountains of debt, angry investors, who were mostly friends and family he'd convinced to put money in, and a reputation in tatters. His dream had not only collapsed, but had taken a significant portion of his life savings and dignity with it. I felt a strange mix of emotions. Sadness for the loss of what we had, vindication that my fears had been justified, and a deep, unsettling pity for him. I didn't gloat, not even to myself. I had moved on, and his failure, while significant, was no longer my problem. Or so I thought. 2 weeks ago, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me. It was Mark. His voice was hoarse, defeated, a far cry from the arrogant, driven man who had divorced me. He sounded broken. "Sarah, it's Mark." I hesitated. "Mark, what do you want?" I need to talk to you. Can we meet? Please." My first instinct was to say no, to hang up, to protect myself from further pain. But a morbid curiosity, and perhaps a flicker of the old affection, made me agree to meet him for coffee in a neutral public place. He looked terrible. Gaunt, unshaven, his eyes hollow. The confident swagger was gone, replaced by a defeated slump. He ordered a black coffee, something he never drank. He launched into a rambling apology, detailing the catastrophic failure of his business. He admitted that every fear I had expressed had come true. The technical issues, the marketing struggles, the financial ruin. He told me he'd lost everything: his savings, his reputation, and the respect of his family who had invested in his venture. He was living in a tiny, dingy apartment, barely making ends meet with a low-paying temporary job. Then came the real reason for his call. He looked at me, his eyes pleading. "Sarah," he began, "I made the biggest mistake of my life. I was an idiot. I was so caught up in my dream, I couldn't see anything else. I let it destroy us. You were right about everything. About the risks, about the stability, about me." He took a shaky breath. "I miss you, Sarah. I miss our life. I miss us. I miss your intelligence, your humor, your strength. I miss the way you made me feel safe. I know I don't deserve it, but will you take me back? I'll do anything. I'll get a regular job. I'll go to therapy. I'll work on myself. Just, please, give me another chance. We can rebuild. We can start over." I just stared at him, my mind reeling. The audacity, the sheer nerve of this man who had discarded me so callously, now begging for me to pick up the pieces of his shattered life. A year and a half ago, his ambition was more important than me. Now, with his ambition crushed, I was suddenly valuable again. Not for who I was, but for what I represented: stability, financial security, and a comfortable life that he had willingly thrown away. I took a sip of my coffee, trying to compose myself. "Mark," I said, my voice steady, "do you remember what you said to me? That I was holding you back, that I was selfish, that you needed someone who would jump into the unknown with you." He winced. "I remember. And I was a fool. You told me that if I wasn't willing to make that sacrifice, we didn't have a future. And then you divorced me. You systematically dismantled our life together because my career, my financial independence, stood in the way of your dream." "I know," he whispered, looking down at his hands. "I know I messed up." "Messed up doesn't even begin to cover it, Mark. You abandoned me. You chose an uncertain dream over our marriage. And now that your dream has turned into a nightmare, you expect me to just welcome you back? To rescue you from the consequences of your own choices?" He looked up, tears welling in his eyes. "I've changed, Sarah. I've learned my lesson. I'm not that man anymore. I've realized what truly matters." "No, Mark," I said, a bitter taste in my mouth. "You haven't changed. You're just desperate. If your business had succeeded, if you were a multimillionaire right now, would you be sitting here begging me to take you back? Or would you be living your dream life with some other woman who did jump into the unknown with you?" He couldn't meet my gaze. "That's not fair. It's absolutely fair. You showed me exactly where I stood in your priorities. And it wasn't at the top. It wasn't even close. My worth to you was conditional on my willingness to be a stepping stone for your ambition." I felt a surge of cold clarity. The pain of the divorce was still there, but it was now overshadowed by a powerful sense of self-preservation. I had worked too hard to rebuild my life, to regain my confidence, to even consider letting this man back into it. "Mark," I concluded, standing up, "I wish you well. I truly do hope you learn from this and rebuild your life. But you and I are over. There's nothing left for us to salvage. You made your choice, and I've made mine. My choice is to move forward without you." I left him sitting there, alone, looking utterly broken. As I walked out of the coffee shop, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. It was hard, painful, but it was the right decision. My heart still aches for the life we could have had, but I refuse to be someone's fallback plan. I've learned my own lesson. Never sacrifice your identity and stability for someone else's unproven dream, especially when they're willing to discard you for it. Now, I'm just trying to navigate the aftermath. Mutual friends are starting to hear about his desperate plea, and I'm sure opinions are divided. Some will probably think I'm heartless for not giving him a second chance, especially when he's at his lowest. But I know, deep down, that I did the only thing I could do to protect myself. Am I the asshole for refusing to take back my now destitute ex-husband who divorced me because I wouldn't quit my job for his failed business?